think they complement each other well. There's they all have a different skill set. They're a little hard to control sometimes. Every once in a while they'll say something that's a little...
You're like, where are you going?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But for the most part, they do a great job.
Mike Lonsbach and Amy Willingham, in some ways, are the keepers of a rambunctious group of diligent workers.
Beast mode on 3. 1, 2, 3, beast mode!
Who happen to be in junior high.
We've been a team for since September.
6 local students comprise the group known as BEESTMode, a first LEGO League robotics team.
You build and program a robot to complete different missions and challenges on a board. And then the other part is a research project, so you choose an animal to research.
Yeah, it just kind of randomly came to mind, and I just kind of said, well, my grandpa owns a bee farm, so we could talk to him about that.
The group took a road trip to Mason's grandfather's farm to check out the bees. When they learned that honeybees are disappearing at an alarming rate, they knew they'd found their research project.
After we did the research, we were talking more about politics.
We knew a lot about it, so we could present what we found to the zoning committee, who would then present it to city council, so we could hopefully change the law.
Their process began at the November 21st, 2016 city council meeting, where there was a definite buzz in the room.
Moving to item 5B, we will be having the 6th grade LEGO team and a presentation by them. Ready? You're up.
Scary. Yeah, it's scary. You see yourself up on the screen right in front of you, and then that's kind of awkward. And remember that you have to say your name and address before you talk. We forgot that a lot.
What the LEGO League team was looking for is to be able to have beehives on those lots in a typical subdivision in the city.
So they learned a lot, themselves, and then they came and shared that with us.
I've been trying to attract butterflies and hummingbirds, but I never thought about trying to attract bees. Can you give me some ideas?
Fun fact, striped flowers actually attract bees, because this is true, they're like bee landing pads.
I was more nervous than they were. And then they kept doing it, and I'm like, gosh, they're really pros. They're really good.
Their presentation skills were also on display in First LEGO League, where they advanced all the way to the state finals for their research project.
And the first place winner is Team 19216 BEESTMode.
About half of what they judge you on is how they interact with each other and also how they present and how they answer questions. And these guys are really, really, really very good at that, don't you think?
With a big boost of confidence, BEESTMode kept attending planning commission meetings and workshops to change the Lakeville ordinance. But for a team of busy bees, the pace wasn't something they were used to.
We learned that politics, that process is extremely slow.
Changing an ordinance takes a fair amount of time. And the kids, they might have lost a little patience as far as going through that process, but they didn't show that to us.
The BEESTMode team attended a number of Planning Commission and City Council work sessions and meetings over the following 6 months to not only present their ideas, but to give us some background information, to give us their expertise.
They applied steady pressure to the Planning Commission, and finally on May 15th, 2017, there was a draft of an ordinance amendment presented to the City Council.
There's been a group of interested citizens participating as part of the planning process in several work sessions with the Planning Commission as well as the City Council to provide education on the keeping of bees.
But the draft of the ordinance that went in front of Council included a provision that the homeowner who wants bees would need a fenced yard. BEESTMode saw this as something that might be too restrictive, so they brought the research in for one last push.
These beehives are for honeybees. Honeybees are not aggressive. They are out to go get pollen, or what I like to say is they go grocery shopping, not hunting.
We believe the new fence provision will prevent people from applying for a hive because not a lot of people are going to want to buy a fence when they don't have one already just to have a hive.
The plan was to have a 6-foot-tall fence or a dense natural barrier 10 feet tall on the side of the entrance of the hive. This is the perfect plan to direct the bees up and out of the way. This is also the plan that we are hoping for.
The bees, and this is me not knowing bees, mean they're not going to go and take a right-hand turn and go out the other direction?
My grandpa is a bee farmer,
okay.
And he says that bees will actually fly 2 to 9 miles before they will turn. so bees will fly straight up above the fence or the trees and away.
We have a group with a lot of good public speakers, and I think we just got the message through really clear.
You go through a process of educating, and through that education, you can bring people into your thinking and desires.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
At the end of the conversation, the city council had removed the fence requirement, and Beast Mode got the language they were looking for.
Okay, motion carries. Congratulations.
Now you can have a backyard beehive in your backyard or in your yard with like a couple restrictions.
We've gotten a lot of support from the city council and the planning committee members.
It's a great civics lesson no matter what your age. I know these are middle school kids. They were very patient. They worked through the process.
And I do think that shows us as adults some things that sometimes we need to be more childlike. We just need to step back and say, you know what, this would be a good thing. How can I help to bring people along? How can I help to educate people? How can I help people understand?
It's kind of like cool to see how easy it can be to just change things and change the world, even if it's just one town or one little spot.
I just appreciate how much kindness and professionalism the city council and the planning commission showed our kids, and just what that's going to instill in our kids for the political process.
Beast Mode accomplished their goal by changing the ordinance for bees, but they got a lot of questions about what they might tackle next. And if they continue to use their hive minds, who knows what they can accomplish.
Baby goats would be awesome. Yeah, I want a baby goat. We've had requests for
Goat mode.
Beast mode on 3. 1, 2, 3, beast mode!